Crows asleep amidst the trees. Bats all are swaying in the breeze. But when the soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags and wraiths. For your dolly Polly sleep has flown, don't dare let her tremble alone. For the wheelchair, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He comes, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep wound. It's all silent for the night. Cows turned in as daylight dies. But when the soullight launches wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags and wraiths, my dear Dolly.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's Haunted Connections. So we're bringing this to you from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley, Leicester, and we are going to be talking about morals and ethics in the paranormal. Oh, quite an excited one, or is it going to be a really short show? So, as usual,
is there any ethics?
Is there any morals? Is there any ethics? That's what we want to find out from yourselves. So, as usual, put your thoughts, comments, experiences, anything down in the comments, and we will discuss it.
Okay, we're going to start with you then, Jane.
Oh, you always start with me?
Yeah, no. I could be the boss. Do you think there should be morals and ethics within the paranormal?
I'm not sure if there should be anything outside of what's just normal anyway. You know, what we're talking about is just common decency, I think, manners and just respect and everything else. I don't necessarily think we should go above and beyond what we but just treat other people as you expect to be treated. Just treat the premises and the locations with respect, and just treat each other with respect. I think that's all it sort of comes down to, really.
It's just being a decent human being, basically, isn't it?
Yeah. And, you know, when you're going into locations and things, you're actually, for a short time, borrowing that building or that space from somebody who sort of bought it and who looks after it and who's put their money into it. And some of the stories that you hear are how people are sort of vandalised or abused the locations. It's just not right, really. You wouldn't expect people to do it in your own, you know, you wouldn't expect to do it in your own home. So why would you do it to somebody else's premises? No,
you shouldn't. You should treat it with more respect than normal, I think.
Yeah.
Because,
well, you know, if you want to be invited back or allowed back, then you've got to be about right, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay, let's put some first. Alex made a comment. I think when numbers go up, all that goes out of the window with a lot.
Yeah.
I think that is because you can't control 50, 60 people as easy as you control 10.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many staff you have on with you. You don't know what they're doing all the time at all. I know a lot of teams when they come here, they have free time.
Yeah.
So the guests, we're talking about venue groups, so the guests go off. So who knows what they're doing?
Well, I think most places have got cameras and stuff, haven't they? But,
yeah.
But just treating somebody else's property with respect is not it's not an unreasonable request, really.
No. And I've heard of some teams, some well-known teams, actually drilling holes through the floors, putting wires through the floors, and
What for?
to make something burn. Have you not heard that one?
No.
Yeah, they had this doll, and it caught fire.
Oh.
But the people who own that building found the next day they drilled a hole through the floor, through the ceiling, and put an ignition device on it to make it catch fire.
Oh.
And that is with a very well-known team, which we won't name.
You know, it's. I don't think it's rocket science really to just, you know, we all know how to behave.
We should do.
We should do.
We should do. We're all adults, so we should know how to behave.
Mm.
And it also goes with the spirits as well. You should treat them.
Yeah.
The way I say to people who come to the centre is the spirit's home. So if I go into Jane's home, for example, I would be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you should treat the spirits in my eyes.
I think so too. And places like churchyards and stuff, and graveyards where you see people, cemeteries, you know, you see people going on the rampage around these places.
Yeah, I've seen
and,
YouTube.
You know,
videos.
sometimes they are disrespectful to these places.
Yep. Bloss says, respect to me, man. I always respect you, Bloss.
Wouldn't dare do anything else.
And that says, I'll get the stick if it. And that says, God, the whole place could have gone up in smoke. Yes, it could. But unfortunately, money talks as well.
It does.
Which is a shame. So what do you think? I've seen lots of YouTube videos where people don't actually break into locations, but they get into abandoned locations.
Like urban explorers type things. You see, I don't think people should go into properties if they've not got permission, and if they've not got, you know, some sort of authorization to be on the land, then I don't think they should be at it, because somebody still owns it, even if it's derelict, even if it's not in use. You know, somebody still owns it, and unless you've got permission from the landowner, then I don't think you should go on it. Again, it's somebody's property. You shouldn't be, you know, violating somebody's privacy or their property just to get kicks in the live feed.
Yeah. Okay. Robbie says, hello, everyone from Haunted Scotland. We are not alone. Thanks for watching, Robbie.
Hi, Robbie.
Karen says, hey, Jane and Neil, hope you both well. Ethics is a big factor for me. You have to treat each other with respect, but most important thing is to treat the spirits with respect.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we are both very well, thanks, Cameron. Bloss says, we got a ticket. Oh, no. Last Thursday, Bloss and Jeanette came, and by the looks of it, they got a parking ticket.
Oh, no.
Whoops.
Oh, she is a bit vicious out the front.
She's the traffic warden outside is
Amy got a ticket, didn't she?
She's on the ball. I got a ticket and I was 5 minutes.
Oh, you got a ticket.
Long time ago.
What a ticket.
Yeah.
I've got a golden twinkle in my eye.
Right. James, I wasn't your tea. Facebook user, I don't know if that's Bloss. It's trespassing. Yeah, apparently there's something. There's a way you get around that. If you're not breaking in, the police can't have you for it. Something. Because if, for example, if there's a window open, you can go in, even if there's signs around. That's what I've heard.
That don't seem right to me.
It's not right to me. I don't agree with it.
But that's all part of the ethics, isn't it? You know, if your next door neighbour's window is open, it doesn't mean you can go in when they're not there. You know, it's still, whether the property's lived in or not, it's still owned by somebody. You know, and if there's a window open, surely that's not right. But saying that, I do know somebody who helped somebody out, and they then went on holiday, and this person who they helped out then broke into their house and spent the weekend there and wrecked it, violated it, had a party in it, and the police didn't do nothing.
Remember you telling me.
Mm.
Robbie says, luckily in Scotland there is no trespassing laws unless the land has private houses, livestock, or a working business. So derelict buildings, castles, abbeys, and graveyards are perfectly legal to enter. That's different to us, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's different if it's legal.
If it's legal, fine. Bloss says, are you paying? Sorry, no. Biff says, if don't break in, it's a civil offence, whereas if you break in, it's a criminal offence. Yeah. So.
Right.
And then Cameron says, British law at its best. Then Robbie says, Cameron, you're thinking English law. Yeah, it's English law. There's obviously a difference, isn't there? So do you think, all the viewers, do you think all the teams do have morals and ethics?
I think a lot of them are respectful.
Majority.
Yeah. The ones that we seem to meet and the ones that seem to come here always seem to, be good.
Yeah. Then Cameron says that's the one. Sorry about the law. Unfortunately, though, I've seen some teams on YouTube where they do break in, and the signs all around the building, and even the owner, and they do a live feed, and the owner comes and basically tells them to leave, and they have a go live on the live feed at the owner, as though the owner is in the wrong. Now, so that's not just the team, and you see some of the comments on the live feed saying, "Oh, he's a bit horrible, isn't
having
he?
a go at the.
Why is he having a go? You're only investigating." But I don't understand most people's minds, and not most, some people's minds.
Yeah.
Robbie says most teams have morals. There's one or two I don't agree with and no longer watch. Yep, same here. Becky says most of us do. A famous TV one I don't think has, when I saw stuff they did to Codnor Farmhouse. Yep, I think we all know who that is. Biff says there was a channel I watched, but when they started throwing toilets down the stairs at an abandoned property just for views, claiming paranormal, I stopped watching.
Yeah, you see, that's when it goes too far, isn't it? That's then when people start vandalising buildings and stuff like that just to get stars or just to get more views. That's just completely wrong.
So do you think there should be a governing body in the paranormal?
Ooh.
Very tricky topic, this. Do you think there should be a governing body on paranormal teams and also paranormal venues? Because some dodgy venues, isn't there?
The thing is, though, how would you police it? How would you enforce such a thing? And when you say a governing body, I mean, what really are they going to govern? You know, first you've got to, I suppose they've got to acknowledge that the spirit world actually exists, which they probably wouldn't. You've got to get memberships. Who's going to pay for memberships and stuff, and who's going to, I can't see it happening myself.
It's been talked about for many years.
Yeah, it has. It's been talked about for a long time, but I don't see how they would enforce it or
difficult.
Get it off the ground, really.
Facebook user, I think it's plus. That's not right. Becky says morals also come under not faking things.
Absolutely.
Definitely, because when you're faking things, you're lying. You're lying to the people who are supporting you and watching you. So fakery is a bad one.
Well, it's deceitful, isn't it? You're deceiving people.
And Robbie says one show got canned because the channel found out about one of the team. 8 episodes were made and will never be shown. I do think I know which show you on about. And yeah, it'll never be shown now.
But you see, how far do you go with it? I mean, do you include mediumship in it? You know, we've come across people who have gone on a couple of investigations, and then the next time we see them, you know, they're a full-blown medium, and they're doing readings, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they've had no training whatsoever, and they're taking money off the public, and they're doing sit-ins, and they're charging for house clearances and all sorts of things like that. So where do you sort of draw the line? You know,
it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Becky says, having been conned out of money by a so-called reputable team, no morals there.
No.
Now you mentioned that, Becky, there's been a lot. Well, not there's been quite a few recently, or the last year since we come out of the pandemic. We've had quite a few.
Yeah, people taking money, and then
not good teams.
The venue's cancelled, or it's not going ahead, and they've still took money, and people can't get refunds. And
it's actually happened here. A team booked this place for selling. Well, teams supposedly booked the centre. They were selling tickets. Fortunately, someone had told me that they were coming here that night, but the other team was booked in. So I thought, oh, blimey, I've double booked. And they hadn't even booked the centre.
And they were selling tickets.
But they were selling tickets to come here.
It's naughty, people. It's naughty.
Robbie says there should be a government body just as there is for any other business. Too many scammers who don't sell good tech or cancel events and don't give refunds.
Yeah.
Refunds. Yeah, there is a law against it, isn't there? Cameron says, I think little teams who are genuine and passionate about the location should be given more attention, as people like this don't get enough credit. I agree, and hence the para-meet in September, Cameron, to try and get all these. It's mainly for the small teams, isn't it? To get them all together, talking and networking,
sharing your stories, sharing your experiences, meeting up with people who you can then go on to share locations with. And it all worked really well last time, didn't it?
Yeah. Robbie says there's no such thing as training in mediumship. Who gave the person who makes the pass certificate a certificate? You learn your own way to control your abilities.
Okay. But I do, sitting in circle and learning about how to do it, how to control it, how to interpret things. I think, you can. I mean, I sat in circle for quite a few years, 5, 6, 7 years, and I do believe that there should be a certain amount of you should be able to learn so much before you actually go out and start doing stuff.
What annoys me is when so-called mediums do an online mediumship course.
Oh yeah,
and
fast track.
We've heard of a few, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're fully qualified because they've got a piece of paper to go into people's houses and to say they've got this, they've got that, and to even via the internet they go in people's houses.
Yeah.
Some of them we've heard. There's no morals there. Claire says we were ripped off by a team based in Lancashire. COVID struck, event cancelled, but wouldn't give us a full refund.
So that's wrong, isn't
that's
it?
bad. That is that's naughty. And Claire says so many people around to take advantage.
Yeah, you see, maybe that's where there should be some sort of law or something, that you've got to be a legitimate business before you can take money and sell stuff to people. I don't know, before you can actually start booking venues or start taking money for tickets for places, then because at the minute anybody could do it, couldn't they?
Anybody can
book a venue and then start selling tickets.
Yeah, then cancel.
Yeah.
So I think you can govern it that way. If you have all the locations involved and all the teams involved. So the general public, if you're not accredited, you know, they could be a bit dodgy.
Yeah, you see, I don't know how they'd make, you know, how you'd sort of enforce it or police it. But if,
Yeah.
because you've got your citizens' advice, haven't you? So if you were ripped off by the citizens' advice, then maybe not ripped off by, if you were ripped off by a team and you went to the citizens' advice, I don't know how you can possibly get your money back unless you take them to the small claims court.
Yeah. Okay, Robbie says, it's the fact people give certificates afterwards. Who can say you're certified and who's certified them? I started 37 years ago and I'm still learning. We will never stop learning.
I agree. Yeah.
That's true.
It's always an ongoing thing. I do think you need to learn some basics before you should start charging people.
Becky says, not to mention blocking contacts. Yeah, that's trouble with Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can easily block people so you can't get hold of them again.
Yeah. While you're waiting for some more comments, I'll just tell you a story about the mediumship. I went on, because I'm insured as a medium to work and do whatever. And I asked the lad I was talking to when I renewed my insurance, I said to him, do mediums really, you know, have claims against them? Do you really have people that they, you know, that actually make claims against damages and stuff? And he said, yeah, quite regularly. He said there was one medium who had a young girl around a house to do a tarot reading, and she told the young girl that the boyfriend that she was living with was no good and that she needed to get rid of him and that she needed to find somebody else. So the girl, believing all this, went home, fell out with the boyfriend, kicked him out the house, and because of that, he lost his partner, he lost his home. Because he lost his home, he lost his job, and he then sued this medium for a lot of money for damages because she told the girl that she'd never even met him, and she told this girl that to get rid of this guy, and because of that he lost everything. And you just don't do that. You don't do that when you're working with people. It's you know, it's not your place to sort of say things like that to people, and that's where I believe the training comes in. You know, you can destroy people's lives, and yeah, you know, he actually sued the medium.
Responsibility on your shoulders.
That's right. And he sued the medium for a lot of money because he lost his partner, lost his home, lost his job, and that was all through a short tarot reading. So she probably deserved everything she got, because that's just not right to do that.
That's crazy. Okay, Becky says, I guess it comes down to personal morals. If you don't have any, generally for people, places, you're not going to treat hunting events with respect. No, this is very true. And unfortunately, that it's not just with the paranormal, is it? It seems to be a trend in everyday life. People don't have the respect that they used to have when I was younger.
No, they don't.
People don't have
Definitely.
respect, you know.
And you drive down the road, and this happened to me the other day, driving down the road, and I stopped to let a car come through, and because I stopped, the girls there's two girls in the car, and as they came through, they were giving me some right on, and I'm like, I've stopped for you to let you through. What's your problem? And they were just effing and blinding and everything at me, because as they come through, I didn't know, you know, just thanks would have been okay.
Yeah. But you see the school kids now, they've got no respect.
Well, you've got a whole generation of people, haven't you, that have just been brought up without.
And the trouble is, these school kids will be bringing kids up in a few years, and what are those kids going to be like?
Evolution.
Yeah, Robbie says, if you don't know the basics, you shouldn't be doing it. I learned by reading books from the library, as I wanted to understand why I could know what I do. Yeah, you shouldn't. You should, if you need to know at least the basics, and on these online courses, I don't think you're going to know the
you
basics.
pay £29, don't you?
Yeah.
After a couple of weeks,
you're a medium.
That's it.
Okay, Becky says, we are always respectful of property, people and spirits, always tidy up, mindful of neighbours, etc. Treat how you want to be treated. That's how you should be doing things. We've had people come to the centre not being respectful.
No.
They ain't coming back. I give people one chance. That's not many. The vast majority of paranormal teams and people I've met over the last 4 years have been fantastic.
Yeah.
And many are friends of ours now. Rose says, Becky Ames, totally true. Cameron says, I've got a good few stories of lack of morals on the road. I'll bet you have, because you do a few miles every week, Cameron. The clip round the ear roll should never have been banned.
We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? I remember my dad saying that, you know, in the village, if you upset the bobby, he would give you a clip round the ear roll and he'd take you home to your dad.
And you'd have
and your
another
dad
one.
would give you a clip round the ear roll for bothering the bobby.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And that clip round the ear roll didn't hurt anybody. Becky says, manners and kindness are the only 3 things in life. Very true. And common sense. I'll put common sense in there because I don't think there's a lot of that around either. Roy says, didn't help though. I still have no clue to why I can do what I do. I only know it works. Well, you're going to carry on learning, Robbie say. Claire says, I always use a very reputable medium with lots of word of mouth reviews. I always get a message of confirmation from Spirit before she continues with a full reading. Yeah, you got to be careful who you go to. And Claire says, Becky, I agree with you. Manners and kindness. So do you think, we'll put it into your court again, Jane, do you think it's going to get worse or better?
Well, I think the majority of people are respectful and they'll stick to the rules and they'll do the right thing by the team, by the venue, by, just interacting with other people and networking and stuff. Anyway, they'll do the good thing. But there's always going to be a small minority of people that are not going to give a toss who they upset, who they slag off, what they wreck, what premises they destroy. They're just going to go at it and just leave a trail of carnage, and there's always going to be that small minority of people.
Yeah, I think you just need to go with recommendations. If you're going to go on a ghost hunt, for example, for the first time, just don't go with just anybody. Go with someone who's recommended them to you.
Yeah.
Robbie says, 37 years of learning. If ever medium and investigator, past, present and future, combine their knowledge, it still won't be enough to know everything about the afterlife. No.
Yeah, you're just never going to know everything.
Until we die.
Until we die.
When we die, we'll know. Yeah. What do you think to these teams that don't share anything? They're very secretive.
Well, yeah, I suppose that again is personal preference, isn't it? We've shared stuff and then it's just been open to ridicule and people slagging you off and slating what you do and how you do it. So, I can understand sometimes why people want to keep their stuff private. I mean, we've got some stuff that we've kept private, haven't we? We don't share everything now.
No.
Because really we don't need the armchair warriors sort of, slagging you off all the time. Some of the stuff that we've got is it's not that it's private and confidential. It's just that, we'll keep it to ourselves because probably the world ain't ready for some of it yet. But it's each to their own, really. I think it just depends.
Yeah, I understand why teams do it.
Yeah.
Especially when someone if someone gets a photograph and they're really excited about it and they've never shared anything before and they put it on Facebook, you are going to get torn to shreds.
Yeah.
And what is that going to do to you? You just don't need it, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had it when we put stuff up, and then people said, "Oh, you can you give me some evidence that ghosts actually exist?" And in the end, I just turn around and say, "No, I can't. I can tell you a million ghost stories, but you won't believe me. And if you actually get off your own arse and go out and do your own investigations and find your own evidence, you're never going to find the evidence that you're looking for.
That's right.
You've got to experience it yourself. So, don't just sit there in your armchair slagging everybody else off. Just get off your arse and go and find your own evidence."
Sound like I've been a bee in your bonnet there, Jane.
Well, yeah, sitting on your keyboard, just giving everybody grief when you've not actually, proved to me that ghosts exist. No, I don't have to. Get off your arse and find it yourself. Find your own proof.
No, we're not here to prove anything.
That's right. Why should I put all my hard-earned efforts and all my time and all the nights and all the work and everything we put, and I could put it before you, and you could still say, "Oh, that's load of rubbish. I don't believe any of that." Well, you're never going to, because you've not experienced it. So go and find your own.
Yeah. Claire says, which is so sad, Jane, because small groups get priced out by these groups that do disgusting things to premises and con their customers, so to speak. Yeah, unfortunately, and I do believe that is going to get worse.
Possibly, yeah.
I do think that's going to get worse, especially with the price of petrol and things, places, electric and whatever. So I can see a lot of places putting the prices up, and I do think a lot of small venue groups will really struggle.
See, we've seen it in the past where people have sort of started doing investigations and think, "Oh, this is quick, easy money. I'm going to set up my own paranormal group, and I'm going to get, book venues, and I'm going to get people in because it's just dead easy money." But they don't actually realise what's involved when it comes to getting to the venue, setting everything up, making sure that everything's organised. And by the time you've got things like your insurance and your all the communication and everything to make sure that everything all gets there all at the right time in the right place and everything else, it is hard work, and it's not easy money like people think it is it?
It's hard work.
Yeah,
it's damned hard work having guests. Claire says, I agree, some things aren't meant to be shared. Yeah. Also, Jane's got a book on all the spirits that she's seen at the centre. But we've had it before. People have asked to see it, and they've said put it in a book that we can sell.
I've had lots of requests to make it
quite a lot of people have asked Jane to do that. But we've done it once. You've done it once. Then all of a sudden, every team that came to the centre for a month later, we're picking up on this negative energy.
We said about this one particular ghost, or I say ghost. We said about this one particular spirit, and everybody then just got it in the head. So when they come in to investigate, that's all they picked up was just this one thing because we said he was here. And I just thought that was just quite sad, really, because you're missing everything else that's going on around you. There's just loads around you, but all you're thinking of is this one spirit.
Yeah.
And
and that's all they wanted.
That's all they wanted,
because he was a bit different.
Yeah, that's all they picked up on. So we don't always tell, we don't say everything. What we want is for people to come in, have an experience, and then tell us what they're experiencing, and then we can marry that up with something that's in my book. But we don't want to tell you everything, otherwise, where's the fun in you investigating and finding out for yourself?
Yeah, because you're not investigating, you're just copying you.
Just looking, if you already know what's there.
Becky says, if you can't say something kind, don't say anything. That's what my mum and dad always told me.
Yeah.
And genuinely, that's what I do. Robbie says, most of my investigations are in private homes, so we never share unless we have permission from that homeowner, and even then it's very basic info, such as a picture or something to explain. That is very true, and now you've mentioned that subject, Robbie, I've seen some teams doing live feeds from people's homes and that sort of thing, and coming out with all this, there's demons here and demons there, and you think, you don't go in people's homes and tell the world that sort of thing, do you?
No, we've had that, haven't we? Where we've actually had to go to somebody's house and sort it out because they had a medium round their house, didn't they? And as he left, he said to one of the people in the house, "Oh, by the way, you've got a demon on your back or something, but I ain't got time to sort it out now. I'll come back another time."
And you think, well, that's where the ethics comes into it. So that woman was scared to death.
Yeah, she was. She just didn't know what to do with herself or what to do or where to go for help, and that
because
was just.
She was just thinking the exorcist job then, wasn't she?
Yeah, and stuff.
Mushy peas everywhere, that sort of thing. Diane says, "Amen, love and light. Hence why I prefer to do it in a loving way with spirit rather than be a diva with technical devices." Yeah, a diva there is a lot of ego.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things.
Unfortunately,
I think that's the biggest thing that spoils the paranormal is people's egos.
Yeah. Biff says, "Too many expect to be spoon-fed." Yeah. Cameron says, "I could listen to Jane having a rant all night."
Oh no.
No. You obviously don't know well enough, Cameron. I think this is Boss Facebook user. "Agree with all you are saying." Annette says, "You will never convince the closed-minded if you produce a full-bodied figure in front of them. No, you won't."
That's true.
No, you won't. And
of course,
sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, and of course, if you don't believe in it, you're never going to see anything anyway.
No.
If you don't believe in it and you're not looking for it, you're never going to see it anyway.
Yeah, I've actually had a group of 6 many years ago when we just had the second floor. I had a group of 6 people come in for a Sunday night investigation, and as soon as this guy walked through the front door, he says, "If I knew what it was, I want to come." So I says, "Well, you're not going to experience anything." "How can you say that?" I says, "Because I just know." So anyway, we had a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and none of them believed a word of this. They've got no interest in paranormal at all. And I says, "Well, what you come for?" And it says, "Oh, just for the laugh." And I says, "Well, to be honest, you're not going to experience anything." "Oh, that's an easy cop out." I says, "No, here's your money back. You can go."
Yeah.
And
kicked them
I kicked them all out. I wasted my time. Plus says, "Of course they exist." Yeah, I got 100% believe they do exist. Plus. Robbie says, "At my public events, I invite small groups so they can investigate places they would not be able to afford. I split area up and let them do their own thing."
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. It always goes too far. Becky says, "It annoys me. People just diss what we do and take the mick, etc. just because they don't believe. They might believe in something I don't, but that's their choice, and I respect that. And they should respect mine." 100%, Becky. They should respect your beliefs.
Yeah.
I had it loads of times, and it did used to upset me, I must admit.
You had a chap in the shop the other week, didn't you? And he called you. He was a religious guy, and because of what
I'm sure he got a Bible under his arm.
He called you an abomination, didn't he?
I was an abomination because of what I do.
Oh, notes of Christmas folk is a.
So I just ignore them. No, I do. We know what we know. We do what we do. That's tickled you again. Becky says, "Don't mention P." Robbie says, "Part of my job is to cleanse the house if needed. I don't close the case until the families say they have not had any activity for at least a month." Well, cool.
Good.
Dan says, "100%. It ruins it for newbies just wanting to understand the basic spiritual beliefs." Yeah, I hate it when people won't take any interest in what you're trying to do, because that spoils it for everybody. Why go? No, ghost hunting or investigating is not cheap nowadays. So why spend your money and not believe any of it? It just
And spoil it for everybody else as well.
it just doesn't make sense to me.
That's on the night.
Claire says, I hate it when you get new investigators that expect you to see or experience something on their first investigation. It'd be cool if they did, but how often does that? How many times you do go out or do investigate and get nothing? Loads.
Yeah.
Loads. Or you just get a little bit. But unfortunately, some people want ghost adventures, don't they?
Yeah.
Or Most Haunted, or the TV shows that we all know that's not the way it is.
But some people don't realise that sometimes, spirit can work really quite slowly, and it does take them time to actually do some of these things. And people are like, well, go on then, do it. Come on then, do it. Come on, we're waiting. It's not give a chance.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Cameron says, I remember investigating Thackeray Medical Museum in Leeds, and a few of us saw an apparition of a man with a top hat in the Old Town section. Some of us saw him, including myself, and others didn't. I think spirits know when you're closed-minded. I think you're right there. I think, well, I can talk from my experiences here. I know when people come, venue groups, and there's somebody who's got no interest in it, I know full well they're not going to experience anything.
No, well, spirit aren't going to come and waste their energy on somebody that's just not going
exactly.
to.
Why should they waste the time? They're not going to believe him anyway, so why bother?
Yeah, they're not going to waste their energy.
And that says, should have filmed that, Jane. I think that was when I was called Abomination.
It still makes me laugh now.
It upset me at the time. I don't say anything horrible to anybody.
No, but that just shows you sort of how religious people sort of react to things, doesn't it? They don't seem to have any morals or ethics when it comes to things that are beliefs outside of their own sort of faith.
Yeah. Mandy says, you can hardly blame people for disbelieving when groups are blatantly faking, lying, cheating, all for the sake of entertainment. This is the big problem. Another big problem in the paranormal. There are some teams, even TV shows, blatantly faking, lying, and cheating.
Yeah.
And so I agree, Mandy. Why should anyone believe? Why should anyone take it serious? Because what they're saying is obviously not real. Becky says, when people say, "Oh, you ghosts don't like me," I say, "No, we don't fake things or scream." Like Most Haunted. Sorry. When people say, "Oh, you ghosts don't like Most Haunted," I say, "No, we don't fake things or scream as much."
And that is actually I don't have very many pet hates, but that is actually one of mine where, and I've seen it quite a few times, where people are asking spirit to come and join us, come and do this, come and do this.
Do your worst.
And when they actually turn up and they then do something, and people are like, oh, screaming, oh, go away, this sort of thing. Well, you've just invited him to come. Why are you telling him to go away? It's like ringing somebody up and saying, yeah, come on over to my house. And then when they actually get over to your house, you open the door, you think,
and scream.
Oh, shit. And you slam the door in their face.
Facebook user, I don't know if it's plus. You get quiet nights, keep it real, and don't expect any activity. If there's a team getting activity every time, then there's definitely something non-paranormal going on. Yeah, you're not going to get something every time, are you? It's a shame. We'd all love that, haven't we? Get activity every time. But no, if a team says they get activity everywhere they go, I am a bit dubious. Unless they're very, very lucky. Mandy says, there are genuine groups out there, but they are overshadowed by the big entertainment and drama.
Yeah.
That is very, very true, Mandy.
Yeah, see, but when it comes to TV and stuff, they want scare factor, they want entertainment, they want screaming and wailing and gnashing of teeth and stuff like that. So
They're not paranormal TV shows, are they?
no, you're never going to see a TV program that just actually sees where you see people sitting quietly and you just get, you get little taps or something in response to it. Because where's the scare factor in that?
Yeah. TV shows need to get ratings. Editing is wonderful. This is very true. That's one of the reasons we like doing things live, because we can't edit things out. Plus, I'm a bit lazy, so it's easier. Robbie says it's the overacting on TV shows that do my head in. Yeah, I don't watch TV shows now. Having said that, you all need to watch. What's it called? Unexplained Caught on Camera.
Ooh.
Starting in September.
Ooh.
You might see us on it.
Yay!
Unless we're that rubbish that cut us out.
Not scary enough. No scare factor.
Oh, you're pretty scary some nights.
Did I have my makeup on?
You can be there for hours with nothing. Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
And how many times have we, you've gone to a location and you've ended up in a bloody dusty old attic and a damp cellar and you've traipsed around in the rain outside and, you've been there all night and caught bugger all. But, that's part of the fun of it, isn't it? I always think if you go to a ghost hunt with your mates and you have a good night, that's fantastic. And if you get activity, that's a bonus.
Yeah. That's why you should do it with friends, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Even if nothing happens, you can have a laugh, and life is about having a laugh. Shawnee's watching from Ireland. Thanks for watching, Shawnee. Annette says the taking part is as exciting as getting the evidence. Yeah. I think it is exciting. Even if nothing happens, it's still exciting because you don't know. Within the next minute, you can have anything.
Yeah, and compared to sitting in a pub all night, I know where I'd rather be.
Tucked up in bed, I'd rather be. No, we love it, obviously, because we do this. Facebook use, I don't know who you are, sorry. Exactly, we like doing live. Yeah, we like doing live feeds. Some people don't like them because they say it's not proper paranormal investigator, but I don't understand that.
Yeah, but in the lockdown, it was really good because people doing lives, it gave people sort of like a bit of a paranormal fix, didn't it, when people couldn't get out. And there were people doing lots of lives, lots of talk shows, lots of there was lots of sort of paranormal content sort of on Facebook and that to watch, and it all seems to have fizzled out a bit. But
yeah,
it's nice now that we cannot get out and sort of just do a little bit.
So do you, people that are watching, do you like watching live investigations, or do you prefer recorded ones, but like the TV? But I just think lives are more credible.
Yeah, but I think as well it's interaction as well, isn't it? Because people can say, "Oh, I heard a noise," or there's a face behind you, or things like that. Because you've got extra eyes and ears, haven't you? That where people can interact as well with you, and that's really nice.
Yeah. And it says, I like the lives. Yeah, I think you watch most of ours, don't you, Annette? Becky says, I used to love watching the Haunted Happenings ones in lockdown. Vic School was great. Yeah, the Haunted Happenings, good friends of ours, they did lots during the lockdown. And of course, the Victorian School is where they're based, so it does actually belong to them. So
yeah.
But let us know. Do you prefer lives or recording? Because I keep thinking about doing recorded ones, and I go back to doing the live ones, and I'm a bit unsure, I must admit. And that says, I do. I'm the Haunted Antique Stalker. And Becky says, first time seeing Lisa Poopit. Lisa from Haunted Happenings. Yeah. It is. I do like the lives. And of course, subject to Jane getting back in time, we are doing a live this Sunday.
Yeah.
Our
hopefully she'll be
next
back in
Demon
time.
Files is this Sunday.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Summer Jenna.
Summer Jenna.
Yeah.
I'm bound to get that wrong, aren't I? So yeah, if you fancy watching that, tune in about 9 o'clock. Becky, woohoo! I imagine Becky must be looking forward to it then.
Yeah, we do like the Demon Files. It's a bit different.
It's a bit different. I've actually worked out some questions to ask this time.
Ooh, he does homework. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Because of what we were talking about the other night.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, let's test that theory. So yeah, tune in Saturday, Sunday for the Demon Files.
9 o'clock, isn't it?
9 o'clock. I do like the Pathfinder board that we use.
Yeah.
Why do you think that works so well on the Demon Files? You got a theory behind it?
Well, it's just really a board for communication, isn't it? Whether it's because there's so many different things on there rather than just the alphabet. But it is a good board.
And
not really.
They are coming up with a lot of sense that.
I've not really seen any others of those about.
Yeah. Any more comments? Annette says, Demon Files, brilliant. Totally new take on it. Thank you, Annette. That's what we think.
Yeah, well, we just want to find out for ourselves, don't we?
Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people have fallen out with us over them. But hey,
And some people do stalkers for it.
Jane does have a stalker regarding the Demon Files.
Oh,
and
God.
this stalker's been sent by God himself. And you always get long essays the day after, don't you?
I do. But...
So yeah, we have upset some people regarding the Demon Files because they said we're totally wrong doing it. Jane does have a stalker. He was my stalker, but I've got rid of him.
You blocked him, and I blocked him, but he's come through on my on a different.
So
account.
he stalks Jane now. So oh no, but hey, it's up to them. Facebook user Demon Files not for me. That's entirely up to you. We enjoy doing them, and we'll carry on because we are learning so much from who's coming through. So, any final comments from anybody before we say good night?
So while we're just waiting for some more comments, we could tell people about the Parameet.
Yes, September 24th, we've got a Parameet where we're hoping to get as many people. It just so happens like we're prepared. Look, we've got the Parameet 24th of September at Bosworth Hall, where we're going to try and get as many people who are interested or involved in the paranormal together, chat, meet, share experiences, just get to know each other. We've got some good stalls. We've got palm readers, we've got tarot readers, we've got medium readers, we've got crystals, we've got Jane selling her stuff, Julie's selling her stuff, Amy's selling her stuff.
Yeah.
There's
lots of stalls with teams and all sorts. So, and it's only £5 to get in.
£5.
Come for the day.
Not £50 or £150. £5.
And it's at Bosworth Hall, so it's in a lovely place, lovely location.
We've got some great speakers. I'm going to read them. Neil and Jane, a couple of weirdos, but Richard Felix,
Yay.
very well known. Kate Ray, who deals with the Fae.
Yeah.
Dylan Jones, who's very clever man. I won't understand a word he's saying. Kate Sherrill, who looks after Victorian burials type of thing.
And beyond, isn't it?
Hazel Ford, who's the owner of Haunted Happenings. Diane Pat of the Spirit Watchers, she'll be doing a talk on what they do. Paul Goddard, I think he's a past life regressionist. Neil Story is going to be talking about Dracula. So, And of course, on the Friday night, we've got Penny Griffiths Morgan talking about the workhouses. So, all very good.
An absolute fun-filled, action-packed weekend.
And I'm going to be shattered at the end of it. I know I am.
Yeah. I shall need a lie-in Monday morning.
Annette says, carry on doing what you're doing. It's all great. Thank you, Annette. Robbie says, send me the details. I'll advertise it for you. Thank you, Robbie. I will do that later on tonight. Vicky says, evening all. Sorry, I only just finished work. Well, sorry, Vicky. What's more important? And sorry, Vic, we won't be seeing you Sunday, will we? Messages keep coming. Robbie says, I also do past life regressions. Cool. Yeah, you can also, if you're traveling a long way, you can also have a room at Bosworth Hall, and Bosworth Hall is very haunted. We've investigated there many times.
It is. And this it's a great concept, this Parameet, because we started it quite a few years ago when Neil first opened. You had the idea, didn't you, to get small people, get small teams and people together, little folk, to get people together. And we used to do a Parameet once a month, and everybody and anybody used to just turn up on the day, and it was great to see teams, people talking to each other, sharing stories, sharing experiences, joining up together, sharing stuff about locations and that, and booking locations together, and talking about kit and equipment and photographs, and there was just so many things. The room was just full of people just talking and networking, and it was great to see it. And this is now we're doing this now on a much bigger scale, so we want everybody to come and just join in and just come along and just enjoy the day.
Have a good day. The Haunted Magazine guys will be there. There'll be lots of people there, and of course we'll be mingling, talking rubbish, so we're good at that. Cameron says, Neil, would you ever do a separate podcast telling the ghost stories you've experienced at the centre? Could be an idea.
Ooh.
Could be an idea. Perhaps we could do a special, invite people to join us on the live feed to tell us their ghost experiences at the centre as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Annette says, I've done past life with Robbie. Cool. Then Robbie says, I might try and dump my plans that weekend and join you.
Oh, fantastic.
Be good to meet you. And Vicky says, I'll be there. So it's all good. I'm really looking forward to the Parameet. Hopefully it's going to be a success, and lots of people can meet lots of other people and become friends, because we all see each other's names coming up on this screen, but we don't meet, do we?
No, it's great to put faces to names.
So it'll be great to meet all these people that we've not met before, and that's what used to happen at the old ones.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get hundreds and hundreds of people there. That would be cool. The Friday night one, we got Penny Griffiths Morgan, then we're doing a ghost hunt at the centre. There's only a couple of tickets left on that one. Saturday night, we're doing a ghost hunt back at the centre. There's only a couple of tickets left for that one. Sunday afternoon, we're doing a ghost hunt. There's not many tickets left for that one. And then we're going to do a big live seance on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Vicky says, yep, you're right. I've never met you. Couple of times, Vicky? So that's it. It's nearly 9 o'clock. That's gone really, really quick.
Yeah,
good.
That's all you get for your money.
That's it. Vicky says, oh, I need one for the Saturday. Okay, dokie. So we're going to say good night. Thanks for watching, everyone. And we will see you all again very, very soon.
Yes. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you next week. So bye for now.
Bye.
Was asleep amidst the trees. That's all.